If you have little to no experience in investing, I would say no, 100% do not. And the reason being is that we've been on a rampant bull run since 2009 after that last crash. So over 11 years we've been on this upward run, and now things, they look a little bit depressed and pricing has went down, but that's only relative to the crazy bull run that we were just on. So if you don't understand value, whether it's stocks or real estate or whatever it may be, and you just hear people telling you, go out and buy right now, this just dropped 10% or 15%, don't do that. Don't do that. This is the best time to take a step back. Lock yourself in your room during this quarantine, read, study, learn everything you possibly can about a specific area that you want to invest in before running out and making a decision. That's it. Make sure you understand what you're doing, because what I think is going to happen is I think that we're going to see pricing come down a lot more. That's what I believe. And the reason being is this is going to be a crunch of the middle class. And the reason being is a lot of these brick and mortar businesses are going to be going under. A lot of restaurants are going to be going under. A lot of travel businesses are going to be going under. A lot of Airbnb companies will likely go under with lack of travel. Airlines are going to be desperately trying to survive during this transition if they can't get a bailout from the government. A lot of companies are going to be going online. So you're going to see a lot of the middle class getting crushed. I think a lot of the luxury real estate developers that were building high-end luxury apartments are going to feel the pinch dramatically, because they're basing that demand off of what was true a year ago or 2 years ago. Now a lot of people are probably going to be downsizing from the luxury 2-bedroom to the 1-bedroom, and then going from the 1-bedroom to the studio, and then maybe the studio to a co-living. People are going to be doing anything they can possibly do to try to survive. And that's just going to be probably going to be the way that it's going to be for the next year or 2 years or 3 years, depending upon how long it takes us to get out of this. I mean, right now it's March 22nd, and it's only really felt real in America for 30 days. And we already have 330,000 cases worldwide, and that's just the positive. People that tested positive, 330,000. So in 90 days ago, when it initiated, there was only one case. So it went from 1 to 330,000 in 90 days. So I think it's going to get a lot worse. There's no way a vaccine or anything is going to come out today that's going to really be safe enough. I mean, clinical trials generally on a vaccine might be a year or 2 years, or any type of solution. So I think things are going to get a lot worse, and I think that we're going to get a lot more opportunity from the investing side if that is what you're looking to do. If you're looking to really invest and take advantage of great opportunity, again, now is the time where you take a step back. You don't do anything. You don't panic sell your stock. You don't panic sell real estate. Don't panic and do anything. All you do is sit back and ask yourself, what can I do to take advantage of the opportunity that's going to present itself to me? Because if you're not thinking like this, it's going to get harder and harder and harder to survive. Because what I think is going to happen is big tech, a lot of the big money companies are going to see this as a great opportunity and run out and buy as much depressed property as possible, which is then only going to divide the haves and the have-nots even more. So we're also going to see a lot of big real estate funds, a lot of really big people get crushed and hurt during this. Carl Icahn, he's a famous takeover artist. He buys companies and he takes them over, and he'll get rid of what's working or what's not working and improve what's working. And he really he's an aggressive billionaire, self-made billionaire from New York. And he's betting big that a lot of people in commercial real estate are going to get hurt, and he put billions behind that bet. And a lot of people think that the real estate market is going to get hit, and I agree. I think the real estate market will get hit, and who I think will get hit the most are going to be leveraged. So people that bought properties and refinanced them to 70 or 80% of their true value, took the money out and bought more properties and kept going and going and going. And if property values drop 40%, which is possible, then they're going to be over leveraged by 20% of what the property is really worth. And if a lot of people are getting out of these high-end luxury apartments, they're gonna have to decrease their pricing to be able to fill those units. And if they decrease the pricing, they may not be able to afford the mortgage payments. And during that last, upswing, like 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all those years, people are going really aggressive with their bets. They're thinking that every single project was going to be a huge hit and they were going to be able to get maximum rents. And as this changes, you're going to see a lot of people get pushed out of the market. And we all know that supply and demand generally will dictate price. So the more supply that's out there and the less demand, they have to compete on price. So you're going to see pricing coming down. You're going to see pricing coming down. I think that the people that were really smart, they bought buildings in these C locations and D locations, and even these B locations, they were low-cost providers. So they were supplying quality housing at an affordable price. Those people are going to do really well in this crunch, because they can afford to come down a little bit. They can afford to be a little flexible. When you're buying these $100 million properties, these $50 million properties, basing your rents off what was true yesterday, and then you have to drop 10%, you're gonna see a lot of people, I'm talking a lot of people, get really hurt. So, moral of the story, don't buy anything right now unless you know what you're doing, unless you know what a good deal looks like. But that should be true in any market. If you don't know what you're doing, don't go on and turn CNBC and listen to Jim Cramer or anyone else and take investing advice and go out and run out and buy a property off of what like a news anchor tells you that has no experience in real estate. Go out and learn your market, study your market, watch as much content as you possibly can, ask me questions as well, and just learn what you're doing, save your money. I think now is a really good time to cut back on spending and to build relationships. I'd be out there trying to build relationships with really smart people that have been through crunches in the past and have a lot of property, that have a lot of money, and see, keep those options open. See if there's a way for you guys to maybe make money if this market goes down. Because if the market goes down a lot more, then you might be able to position your ambition and knowledge to an investor to possibly invest in property with you, and maybe put up a little bit of the money, or you put up a lot of the work, however you want to shape it. But I think that what we're going to be stepping into in the near future is going to be just an incredible opportunity. I mean, there's talks about employment being at 20 or 25%. That is way higher than what was ever the number during the last recession in 2008. And that recession, that was referenced to like the 1929 depression. We're talking about a majority of people losing their jobs. I mean, talk about this. How can you wipe out all restaurant owners, baristas? I mean, a lot of these companies, a lot of restaurants are going under, travel industries going under. All these big companies are going to be going under, a lot of them. And I think a lot of them are just going to be going online. So that being the case, this is the time to where you also want to maybe second guess your career path. If you're going down a avenue of maybe a job segment that could possibly be threatened in the next 5 or 10 years, you may want to ask yourself, is it worth spending the next few years to really become an expert in this field if this field may no longer exist by the time I'm an expert? So I think now is it's just a great time to build those relationships, build those connections, learn about real estate, stocks. I think learning about tech, learning about how the world's going, where it's going, and the more information that you have at your disposal, the better off you're going to do. And that's just true with everything. I mean, how I like to see the world is the more information I have at my disposal, the better decisions I'll be able to make. If I'm only using the current information that I have at hand, I'm only going to be able to achieve what I achieved yesterday. So this is a really good time. I mean, just an incredible time to kind of lock the door in your room and sit back and just like study, ask questions, try to really connect with other people. And my personal favorite is going to be real estate. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but the reason being is because I think stocks, a lot of the companies will be at jeopardy. A lot of things are going to change in the next 10 years. And one thing that will never ever change is a roof over your head. You're never going to be able to convince a mother that she doesn't need a roof over her kid's head. So I think as the property prices come down, the opportunity is just going to just be incredible. And that's what I'm doing right now. I live below my means. I'm just saving money and putting myself in a position to where when I see huge opportunities, I'm going to run out and buy them. And I don't see the opportunities yet. I hear the fear, but I don't see the property values coming down. So with all that said, study, learn, and make those connections. Thanks so much for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe.